What do you typically look for in a woman that makes them wife material? When I met my wife, I guess I just found her to be the nicest slash kindest person I had ever met. We also chatted for hours and haven't stopped yet. The conversation and being able to talk slash enjoy time with one another is key. I've been with my partner 3 years and I still can stay up well past midnight just talking. We like one another's company, and we figured that out pretty quickly after we met one another. Please do not take this as one-upmanship, but I've been with my wife 22 years and I swear, talking to her today is just like that first evening we got together and talked and laughed well into the early morning hours. As a youth, I really like being around my friends and doing things with my friends. In that time, your friends are your entire world. Well, in that respect, my wife is most definitely my friends. I love spending time with her, and she's the 110 lbs center of my entire universe. Your partner should be the person you want to hang out with most, even 20 years later, or even 50 years later when looks, health and energy have faded, and you're stuck in an elder care facility together. And understanding that, when you are in a relationship, you don't have to do literally every single thing as a pair. Confidence and independence is very attractive. I wonder if people that independent would even want to marry, as that restricts their highly valued freedom. I wouldn't consider someone who doesn't want to do every single thing together that independent. Just sounds like they are their own person. Intelligence, wit, discipline, values, a sense of fun, being comfortable in her own skin, a confident smart woman. Nice. Having emotional maturity will put anyone leagues ahead of the rest. It shows a person is able to be secure in their sense of self when it comes to well-being. Having emotional maturity will put anyone leagues ahead of the rest. I think the phrase you're looking for is leagues ahead. Apostrophe. Streets ahead. Someone who shares my values and maybe some of my interests, that we can laugh together and be honest with each other. Pretty basic, but that's the core of what I'm looking for. Shared values is a huge deal, and I think underestimated by many. If they don't align, they can cause fractures that you don't see initially, but can cause huge drama down the road. Correct. Shared values like not being wasteful or wasted, plus things like family slash house slash living standard are somehow often not discussed in detail by many couples until after the wedding, and then it creates massive friction or one person going along with the other's wishes but is miserable. Accountability. This goes for men and women. Too many irresponsible people out there who are not accountable for any of their behaviors. This was married and my ex just didn't give a rest about anyone else or how her behavior affected things around her. She made beef with everyone in her life. Patience, kindness, compassion, honesty, wicked sense of humor, a sense of adventure, passion, and a sex drive slash sexual tastes similar to my own. Hot. Glad to see another who appreciates my tastes. She is the same level of weird as me. Wildly underrated. He's got to be my best friend. Either he joins my crazy or pulls me back, and is my voice of reason. There is no in between. Lol. My wife left a note in my wallet the other day that says that this is exactly what she loves most about me. Made my year. Does hanging out with them feel like a default, or does it feel like work? Can I do all the things I like with her, or do I notice that hanging out with her leads to me not doing what I'd like to do? Do I feel a sense of relief when they're gone? Do we share similar values? Do I feel happier and more complete when they're around? All valid self-evaluating questions. I bet you have a high emotional intelligence. I would say I spent years learning from my mistakes. I realized someone else was wrong for me because they met 0 of those criteria after 3 years of dating, then decided to find someone who met all of them. I feel the same. I spent a year and a half with someone like that. Teamwork. My girlfriend is so easy to do things with. By day she's a project manager. She's probably the most organized person I've ever met. Everything we do always goes so smoothly because both of us are tryhards and research and plan every little last thing. And she's just a naturally sweet person. On our first date, we went to a dumpling place. I was trying to lift my dumpling with my chopsticks, but it was stuck to the tissue paper. She instantly grabbed her chopsticks and held the paper down, and I was able to peel the dumpling off. I remember her smiling at me and giggling, and I think about that moment all the time. Even still, I realize most people would do that, but because of how sweet she is, those little things just come naturally to her. For a lot of people, myself included, thinking about how I can help my girlfriend is something I have to actively, consciously think about. But it's like her default state of thinking. How she can make things easier for me, or for us. And I really love her for that. Is a decent human being is #1. After that, intelligent, witty and has self-confidence. Ability to communicate when they are upset. The ability to set and achieve goals. Whether you're a man or woman. If you find someone able to hit most of those, you've probably found a keeper. Agreed. Emo, a lot of the most important traits are pretty gender neutral. Accepts my flaws. Laid back. Shared values. Sticks through thick and thin. And not overly materialistic. Great answer. Does she stick to her opinions when necessary? Is she willing to compromise to some extent when necessary? Have you won kids, and she treats them? Can she take care of herself and her own home? Cook, clean, etc. Good work ethic. How does she treat strangers / new people, waiters, friend of a friend, when stranger asks for help or inconveniences her, etc. And most importantly, can she properly communicate? I know this is a really obvious one, but needs to be said. Someone who actually wants to commit to a long-term, loving, healthy relationship. I found a woman as ready for an adventure as me and gave her a ring. A woman who is comfortable in her own skin, likes homemade foodstuffs, can work out / jam with me, etc. You make jam? Awesome. Well, yes I do, but I mean someone I can play a musical instrument with. I feel stupid. Lol. On a related tangent, making jam is actually pretty simple and not time intensive. I watched this video for the basics. https://www.youtube.com/watch v = kuggja-bwwritten up version from memory is to add in something like sugar, honey, agave, maple syrup, etc. to fruits to draw out the fruit's moisture. You can just douse the fruits and leave it in the fridge overnight. Then heat the sugary fruity watery goodness and add some acid. In my experience, I would prefer lemon or lime juice instead of vinegar, as vinegar will give the jam quite the bite. Happy jamming. Smart and witty, able to laugh and make jokes, where appropriate of course. Understanding of my own limits and emotions and accepting them, along with discipline. During my single days, I never looked for wife material at all. That was way too many steps ahead. I had so many dates that never went anywhere that such a thing would be putting the cart before the horse. I was just looking for someone I wanted to spend time with and get to know, and then see what happens. I think when you're dating, though, you should have a vague list of what you want in a wife. Main things people divorce over: 8 kids, lifestyle, and ethics. I wasn't looking to get married the first or second time. I wanted someone who wanted to be loved, and I wanted them to want to be with me. My second marriage should have been my first. She is the coolest, sexiest, smartest woman I have ever had the pleasure of knowing and wanting to share a life with me. Understands that men need care and love as much as they need. Yes, men deserve to be able to be vulnerable and feel loved in their relationship as well. We generally don't care about vulnerability as much as women do. Just be there and try to listen without thinking too deep into it. The loved part is on point though. What is love to you though? To me, listening and thinking about someone's problem is part of showing love. Treats me well, wants to work hard, is kind to strangers, and likes to cook and cuddle. Someone who can find joy in the everyday. Someone who can be thrilled with mundanity. The majority of life is not exciting. Generally speaking, it's a lot of the same. But someone who can help me make shopping and adventure, or who can help make the last few hours at the end of the day peaceful, comfortable, and intimate. Now that is someone I would want to marry. That's basically both how I view myself and what I look for in other people, but it's a tricky thing to properly advertise. I mean, Say you were out on a walk with your partner. You then later catch them sitting at the kitchen table looking with fascination at a leaf they brought home from the walk. Maybe they say to you something like, look how cool the veins in this are. Or isn't it neat how it changes color when I turn it towards the light like this. In context, that sounds endearing. On a dating profile. Sometimes I like to stare at leaves probably just makes you sound a bit nuts. How she treats her family. How she treats my family. How does she feel about kids? Shared values and morals. Not afraid to work hard and get dirty. Sexual compatibility. Truth is, most men know given enough time with someone, sometimes the person that they would marry turns out to be completely different from something they would list here. I know that when I establish enough of the right thing with the right person, that I'll come to realize that's the woman I want to marry. Until then it's the dating game. Emotional maturity and honesty about oneself. For me, first I look for that she understands that her happiness mental peace is in her own hands. Basically she understands self-responsibility towards herself and at a good place in her life emotionally and physically too. Second, she understands marriage is a continuous commitment and has lot of sacrifices too. And there is no you're my only one crap, we both are replaceable, and hence, since you're in good mental space in life, understand self-responsibility and it's a commitment then. If you decide to make that decision, please be loyal and understands good things of sacrifices too, cause I will do the same. If you can't do that, I'm sorry, stay single without hurting each other and kids in the process. Someone whose presence helps still my mind. Composure. There is a difference between having feelings and being a slave to your feelings. The latter category become insufferable in the end. Like many other men, I have absolutely no idea. Most guys may not admit, but we know very little about what is a wife material. Personally, I have no clue. I'm not even sure if I'm husband material. Maybe I'm not even boyfriend material. Good luck to my girl. The truth is that a wife material will be different for every guy, and there is no right answer about it. Maybe the dude wants someone to love him, but if she loves him too much he will be uncomfortable. If she likes to travel and he likes to stay at home, they probably will have wife-husband issues when they try to decide what to do on their vacation. There is so many variables. Some people even like to have some conflict/fight on their relationship because otherwise they would feel stuck and bored. I don't know. Life is weird. Don't take my comment too serious. I'm just using it to practice my English. Your English is great. Honesty, loyalty, morals, perseverance, and if she's easy on the eye, bonus. I'm married. My wife doesn't cook. She doesn't clean often. She's very intelligent, works hard and makes good money. She cares about me and has good conversation. She's loyal and always there. I guess that's my wife material, but to be honest my criteria would be something like this: 1. Be at least somewhat intelligent. 2. Be at least moderately attractive. 3. Be loyal. 4. Be someone I have a strong connection with. I really appreciate this answer. I have yet to find lady friends like this. Cooking and cleaning takes up so much time we never get back. Freeing up time has allowed more focus on other things like career, projects, goals, family enjoyment, personal endeavors, etc.